Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rutch channel and I hope you're all doing great today. I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So today I have a fitting Christmas story from one of the friends whose girlfriend cheated on him on Christmas and he actually caught her. You won't believe how the story ends, so make sure to stick to the end. And before I start with the story, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss one of my uploads. But without further ado, let's begin. So this story has been told to me by a friend a couple of years back when I was 18 years old. He and I were pretty close because he just transferred to the high school I was going to, and since he was from another city, he literally didn't know anyone in our school. So I noticed he was in most of my classes and I was a bit sad too because most of my other friends I knew pretty well were in a different class and I pretty much had nobody to talk to during most lessons. It was senior year, so pretty much every lesson was kind of a preparation for exams, so it's not that I really had to pay a lot of attention to the classes since everything was repeated anyways. So I noticed this guy sitting next to me during the first school day and I introduced myself and asked him who he was because I didn't know him at first. So he told me that he used to live in another city, but his mom found another job in the city I lived in, so he and his sister and his dad moved in here. He told me that he pretty much didn't know anyone in the school and that he was kind of lonely and didn't have any friends because he pretty much left all of his friends in the old town he lived in. So I immediately thought that this guy is really nice and he had an amazing vibe and I really felt that he was really chill to hang out with. And later when we hung out during lunch break, I discovered that he and I shared a lot of the same interests. Eventually we became really good friends and I pretty much started hanging out with him regularly during the breaks. So I asked him about his other friends, you know, if he missed them because obviously he now lives in a completely different town and he used to go to another high school, but to my surprise he told me that he didn't really mind. He actually said that he was kind of happy to move away because of his ex-girlfriend. He told me that the breakup with her was really hard on him when it happened and that he was happy to move away so he would not have to see her accidentally anymore, because even seeing her briefly in the supermarket would feel really bad for him. So fast forward to a little while later, I knew him even better than before and we became really good friends, and at that point we went to a restaurant once to eat something. And I decided to ask him about his ex-girlfriend and about his breakup. And what happened next was really bizarre. I didn't expect to hear this story. So apparently his girlfriend was cheating on him while it was Christmas. And to be quite honest, at that point I really felt bad for him because he discovered it during the Christmas dinner. But before I tell you this, I need to give some more details. So I didn't expect him to be so open, but at that point our friendship was close enough for us to both be open towards each other. He told me that his relationship was very good for a couple of months and that they were really happy with each other. But as time was passing by, he noticed that his girlfriend started to go on social media more and more. So on Twitter and Instagram mainly. But before all that, his girlfriend didn't really like to use social media because of him and her usually were hanging out and they did activities together like going to the cinema, going to the gym together, and he actually also didn't mind going shopping with her. Usually boyfriends sit on the couch in a clothing store waiting for their girlfriends to be ready, but he actually was participating in picking his own clothes and picking hers too. He really liked it. So they definitely had a great chemistry and a wonderful relationship. And he also was really good friends with his girlfriend's parents. They also liked him a lot. He even told me that he sometimes thought that he was going to marry his girlfriend in the future. But he also told me that it was a bit naive because he quite often heard that people don't marry their first girlfriend or boyfriend that often. So some somewhere he had a bad feeling that maybe this relationship was not going to be as long as he thought. So as I was saying, his girlfriend started to post pictures on Instagram, and she really didn't tell him at first because he thought that she was kind of being embarrassed about it. And when he discovered that she was doing that, she actually started to act really weird, almost as if she wanted to keep it a secret. So he confronted her about it, and she told him that she thought that he didn't like her being on social media, and he told her that he didn't mind at all. However, later in his story you will discover that she actually lied to him to divert his attention. So essentially what happened is she tried to make him think that her being on social media was not a big deal at all, and she really tried to make him feel guilty that he asked her about it. But it turns out that she did more things on Instagram than she wanted to admit, because not only did she post photos of her on the platform, she also replied to a lot of other guys who gave her compliments and even started flirting with her on there. Now, if she was single, that wouldn't be much of a problem, but now that she has a boyfriend, she has to be loyal to him, obviously, because flirting with people over text or DMs is a form of emotional cheating. She never even thought of saying that to all the guys that were flirting with her. You know, the magical 4 words that are, "I have a boyfriend." So how did my friend discover that? One day when she was visiting my friend, she was looking at her phone while they were watching some Netflix. And then at some point she wanted to go to the washroom, so she put her phone on the nightstand next to their bed. And at that moment he was already suspicious of her activities on Instagram, and he actually decided to check her phone. He was shocked because he discovered all of her flirty text messages with a lot of guys who she met through Instagram. Even though he also really felt bad when he was snooping around the phone because she actually had a passcode on it, but he managed to crack it by spying on her. So when she left the washroom, he confronted her with all the flirty text messages, and at that point her jaw just dropped because she realized that she really screwed up and that her boyfriend just discovered probably one of her biggest secrets. So immediately she started to apologize because she felt really bad that she was exposed, and she promised him that she wasn't going to do that ever again. She told him that flirting with other guys to her wasn't really cheating. At least she felt that she wasn't cheating on him because she still was with him. But my friend told her that he felt different about that, and because of that she apologized to him. However, sadly the story doesn't end on this positive end here, because as you see, this all happened in November, so in a month Christmas was coming and New Year's Eve was coming too, and my friend was really excited to be spending Christmas with his girlfriend because it would be the first time that he would invite his girlfriend to his parents. He thought that it would be a wonderful idea to invite her to the Christmas dinner that his family was going to have, also because it was the first time inviting a girl to his parents. And he thought to himself that after they had a talk about the whole Instagram flirting thing she was involved in, they never had any trouble and didn't even fight a single time after that. So eventually it was Christmas and his girlfriend had a really nice dress on and he also had a really fancy suit on, so his parents were just really in awe that he had such a lovely girlfriend. His dad really liked her and his mom too, even though at first she was pretty occupied with, you know, making the dinner, but she soon joined them and sat next to her at the dinner table. So they were eating and drinking, and the whole atmosphere was really nice because at first his girlfriend was really shy and didn't really know what to talk about with his family, but eventually she started to drink some wine and she loosened up a bit and she started to tell a bit more about herself, like where she grew up and where she was from. So everything was going good until this very unfortunate thing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, you might ask what that thing was. Well, in the middle of dinner, she actually got a phone call. Now, her phone was on silent mode, so you couldn't hear it ringing, but my friend's mom noticed that her phone screen was on and someone's name was popping on the screen, and here comes the bizarre part of it. Behind that name was a heart emoji, and during that moment, my friend's mom immediately told my friend, "Oh, looks like someone is calling her. Do you want to pick it up?" And at that moment, my friend looked at her phone because he was occupied with another conversation before that. He couldn't believe his eyes because he saw that his girlfriend was being called by a male name with a heart emoji behind that, and at that point he didn't hesitate. He quickly grabbed her phone, ran towards the bathroom and actually wanted to pick it up. And she ran after him and started to almost cry, like she was screaming and begging him to give her phone back. At that moment, when he picked up, he heard a male voice saying, "Hey babe, when are you coming over today?" And at that point, he didn't hesitate. He gave his girlfriend's phone back and told her to leave his house immediately and that he never wanted to talk to her ever again. So that was the story, and when I heard it, I just couldn't believe it at first. But I really felt bad for him that this happened and told him that it was probably for the best to end this relationship there. Because moral of today's video, if a relationship is based on disloyalty, it's not going to be a good relationship anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed today's story. Comment down below what you thought of it, and also if you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. If you're interested in more story times, I made a list of them. It's showing on the screen right now. Thanks so much for listening and peace out.